Ruben, do you get it? So now, looking at this, I want Michelle to join. So she's joining. Network, the steps. Good. Michelle, welcome. So now looking at the sequence, we've been able to find for the U2, the U3, and the U4. Looking at what the question asks us to do. That's the first question. It says, find the values of U2, U3, and U4. Now the B is the expression for UN in terms of N. The expression for UN in terms of N. And so the first thing you have to do, now we've been able to find for the sequence, we can now find for the first, what do you call it? The A is what? 2. I hope you know A is 2. The question gave us U1 is 2. So A is 2. I hope you understand. Then the common difference, looking at this, the common difference will be 1. Do you agree? So if the question says you should find for the nth term in terms of n, and then that means UN is equal to, we already know the formula, UN is equal to A plus into bracket n minus 1. I'm coming, n minus 1d. Ruben, ask a question.
So how did you know it was a linear sequence?
Oh, how will I know there is a linear sequence? Oh, just looking at the question, it says the sequence of number. If it was to be a geometric progression, the question would have just told you it's a geometric progression. So this is a linear sequence, so don't worry. So the sequence of numbers U2, U1, U2, U3 satisfy the relation UN plus 1, and so there's a linear sequence question. Listen, so just look right away looking at this. Is it find the expression for UN in terms of n, and so we are going to find the expression of UN in terms of n, and so this is the general expression for UN. So UN is equal to, well, we know A to be 2, so this will be 2 plus UN, we don't know the n, so n minus 1 times 1, d is 1, so we are going to get UN in terms of n terms will be equal to this will be 2 minus 1, and so when we take away, this will be 2 plus n minus 1, n minus 1, so UN will be equal to n plus 1, n plus 1, or 1 plus n, so UN will be equal to n plus 1 or 1 plus n, whichever way. So there's the expression in terms of the UN term, the expression for UN in terms of n. Do you understand? The only thing is we just quoted the UN formula. They didn't give you n, they said find it in terms of n term. And so, but looking at the sequence, we're able to find for A, and we have a common denominator. It said find for it in the n term, so n must come inside. So they didn't give you n, so UN is equal to 1 plus. They just substitute. This is just common mathematics, and you get UN to be equal to 1 plus n. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now the other question is that we should find the sum of the first n term. So this one is more or less like this one. It's synonymous to this one, except that this one are talking about sum. So find the sum of the first n terms. Find the sum of the first n terms. Sum of the first n terms. The sum of the first n terms. So that is it. So this is it. Sum is what equal to n all over 2 into bracket 2a plus n minus, is n plus 1 or n minus 1? N minus 1 d. So that is it. So you say we should find for the sum of n terms. So the same thing I'm going to do. So this will be n all over 2, n all over 2 into bracket. But we know our first term a is 2. A is 2. So this will give us 4 plus n minus 1. 4 plus n minus 1. Because this is 1 here. I hope you agree. So here will be 3 plus n. N all over 2. N all over 2 is equal to. So the expression for n terms in the sum of n terms, this is the expression. Do you get it now?
Yes, sir.
And the question is saying that, can I please erase it? Can I please erase it?
Yes, sir.
Now the last question is saying that we should find for the value of un. The last question is find the value of un plus 1. This is un plus 1 plus, oh, the first one is un. So this is un plus un plus un plus 1 plus,
Please, is it another question?
yes, no, that's the last question and not the question we gave you. I gave you. When n is equal to 20. When n is equal to 20. So when n is equal to 20, find the value of un plus 1 plus un plus 2. When n is equal to 20. Do you get it? So this is the last question under.
Yes, sir.
Michelle. So okay. So this is the last question under the question says when find the value of un plus 1 plus un plus 2 when n is equal to 20. So we are going to use this one also from the same distance to find when n is equal to 20. So find for this. So the first thing we are going to do, we are going to find for un, because this is what we are doing when n is equal to 20. But you know that when n is equal to 20, this is what we are going to get. But you know un is equal to, from our first deductions, un in terms of n terms, we had what? 1 plus n, or n plus 1, whichever way. You remember we had un to be 1 plus n. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Michelle, I hope you also remember. We did that before your line went off.
Yes, sir.
Good. I'm coming. So what we are going to do is, so u20 will give us, so u20 here will give us 1 plus 20. N is 20. So when n is equal to 20, so you are going to get, what do you call it? You are going to get 20 here. So un here is 21. So this you are going to get 21. Now we are going to find for un plus 1. So un plus 1, un plus 1 will give us u21. It will give us u21. I hope you agree. And that will give us You know, UN is equal to what they call it. I'm coming. I want to check. So this we are going to get U21 will give us, this will be 21. U21, so that'll be 1 plus the n term, which is 21. So that will give us 22. Then this one, UN plus 2. So UN plus 2. UN plus 2 will give us U22. That'll be 22 plus, what do you call it, plus 1. So that will give us 23. So when we finish, then we come and add all, because the question is UN plus 1 plus UN plus 2. I will know UN, the first one we had that one to be 21. So we are going to get 21 plus 22 plus 23, which will give us 66. Michelle. 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 Ruben. Ruben. Oh. Ruben. 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 Ruben.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
I hope you understood what I did on the board.
So I didn't see you writing. I saw you stop at you. Yeah, I didn't write it.
So Michelle, so look on the board. So the question was, find the value of UN plus 1 plus UN plus 2 when n is equal to 20. That was what we were doing when n is equal to 20. I hope you can all hear me now. So we said that UN, but you know that in the expression we found UN to be 1 plus n. So yeah, when n is 20, that means U20 will give us what do you call it? 20 plus 1, which will give us 21. We want to add all of this, but before that, we have to find for un separate. Come and find for un plus 1, and come and find for them. We add them. Now we want to find for un plus 1. So un plus 1 here will be so we are going to get 20 plus 1. So here we can see that un here is 21. So we are going to get u21. So u21 will be equal to 1 plus n again, where here n is what I call 21. So we are going to get 22. Then we can find for this. So we are going to get u22 is equal to 1 plus 22. So we are going to get 23. Now when you finish, you add all to get to the final answer. So we are going to get 21 plus 22 plus 23.
So I don't.
That will give us 66. Ruben, talk. The question is saying that we should find for the value of un plus 1 plus un plus 2
I don't.
when n is equal to 20. I realize that in our expressions, when the question said we should find for un in terms of n, you realize we found un to be equal to 1 plus n. This is a sub question. So it follows everything we do right from at the top is affected by this or is affected by this. So you realize that we found un to be equal to 1 plus n when we're doing the un in terms of in the n terms. So we found un to be equal to 1 plus n. So here un, to be able to find for this, we first have to find for un, but we know un is equal to 1 plus n. So un is, and they said when n is equal to 20. So when n is equal to 20, u20 will give us 20. That means n term here is 20 plus 1. That will give us 21. Then we come and find for this one. Now the new un, now you realize that here will be un, which is here the u20 plus 1. So we are going to get u21. So u21 is equal to the n here now become 21, and still the 1 is already there. That's the formula. So we are going to get 22. Then we come to the next one, which is un plus 2. So the un here is 20 plus this 2 will give us 20, what they call it, 22. So 22 will be equal to u22 will be equal to what they call it, here will be 22 plus 1 here. That will give us 23. So you get 23. Then we finish. The question was saying we should add all. So you just add all. So un here we had 21, and un plus 1 we had 22. Un plus we had 23. And so we add all, we are going to get 66. You get it? Just digest it. You understand? So that is it. Hey, Vodafone people too. What are they doing, crap? Ah, so that is it.